Welcome back, guys, to another episode of The Wreck. We feel nothing.
She's right. I have been weird lately. Honestly, I'm glad she noticed.
You're right. I am? Because I was starting to think that I was just being a dumbass.
Oh, you're totally a dumbass. You can't just bring up Astrid's death out of the blue and throw it in my face. But you are right. With her gone, something inside me is broken. I just don't feel anything. Everything just slides off me. I'm Teflon. Sealed off. Like a damn lobster.
A lobster?
And you're right. It's been 5 years already. But I'm still trying to figure out how the hell I'm meant to reconnect with my life.
I understand. I mean, I know I can't understand, but... I think I get it. Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't think so.
Bring it up.
Well, you can keep on beating up idiots, but that's more of a public service than for me specifically.
I will. You know, I admire you.
Sure you do.
You've always been the sensitive one.
That's classic Marie right there. I'm sensitive. By which he means weak. Not strong enough for the world. Obviously I pale in comparison to the formidable Diane.
I don't think that's what you meant.
Yep, that's me. So fragile.
That's not what I mean. Mom raised us to bite before we get bitten. That was the only way out she could see. And I guess I took her literally. But you weren't like that. You knew how to listen. You got people. You were less scared of them. I always loved that about you.
That's new. What the hell do I say to that?
I guess that's the nice thing you ever said to me.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, right. Knock it off. I don't know why it's so difficult for us to just talk. Maybe this is why Mom chose you.
And we're back. Are you bitter right now?
Certainly not.
Certainly.
No. I mean...
You are bitter. You're pouting. Look at your fucking face.
Enough, okay? Stop it. This isn't the time. I just don't get it.
What is there to get? You know Marie. She's unpredictable.
Wait, you mean you didn't know?
Well, you should see what my signature looks like on the form.
She's the worst. Why would she do that?
I have no idea. I guess she thought it made sense since I handled the rest of her paperwork. Unless she thought I was a perfect fit since I'm a Libra with Pisces rising or whatever.
All right, but still, it's a big responsibility. And it's a bit weird to ask you, of all people, to make that decision.
Yeah, well...
What am I supposed to do? Scream in the middle of the hospital cafeteria? That's not my style. Although, the way this day is going, it might become my style.
You can be pretty clumsy. You can't cook a meal without setting the house on fire.
Et voilà! I'm never going to live that down, am I?
Depends. Have you figured out a safe way to brown-baked Alaska yet?
Whatever. This isn't the time to rehash all that.
Yeah, for real.
Really, I don't get it. This is so important. Why would she trust you over me?
Why are you bringing this up?
All right, I've had enough. You know what? You're right. Only an idiot would trust me.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, here it comes. You're the reliable one, aren't you? The one people can always count on.
What are you talking about?
Ugh, I'm out of here. I'd probably just trip over her ventilator or something. Wouldn't want that to happen now, would we?
You're being ridiculous, you know. Please, sit down. I didn't mean to upset you.
Oh, you didn't? Well, you got that wrong.
No, looks like we're leaving again.
Well, that was embarrassing, wasn't it? I just can't help it. So Mom wrote my name instead of hers on a worthless paper. What does it matter?
Oh god, we're gonna crash again, aren't
Diane
we?
and I are stuck in this stupid competition. I hate it. I feel I can't escape it.
I can't reach the lighter. I got the lighter. I think.
Of course I'd remember that day. My infamous 25th birthday. The day we met Diane's girlfriend. The day we danced a little, ate a little, and drank too much. But most of all, the day everyone went home early because I set the kitchen on fire while making dessert. There's plenty about that night I never told Diane.
Like what?
I wasn't expecting Marie to have a present for me, and yet she remembered. It was a bottle of Japanese whiskey as old as I was, 25 years of age, but as usual with Marie, things couldn't just be nice. I hope you like it because it costs me a fortune. That's what she said when she handed me the bottle. She could afford it too. She wasn't world famous yet, but her career was taking off, and with that, her taste became more and more luxurious. Me? Oh, I was light years away from all of that. I hate whiskey. I hated it then, I hate it now. That's how it works with Marie. Even when she does something for Diane and I, in the end, it's always about her. It was the first time Diane introduced us to her girlfriend. Her very first girlfriend. She didn't make a big deal of it. She didn't even tell me that she would have a guest. But I knew it was important to her. And neither Marie nor myself reacted appropriately.
Why?
I was furious. It's stupid, I know, but I wanted to enjoy my party. And she showed up with something important to share. All of a sudden, my 25th birthday seemed trite, unimportant. In fact, from the moment Diane and her girlfriend arrived, I no longer mattered to Marie. She rushed over to hug them both. I don't think I'd ever seen my mother so excited. Then she congratulated Diane for her rejection of patriarchally mandated heteronormativity. Diane didn't say anything, but I could see she was upset. Her intimacy had just been reduced to activism, somehow. Her girlfriend was called Sasha. She was nice, intuitive, smart, and very pretty. I was quite reluctant to organize this party. It was the last birthday I would celebrate at Marie's. Your dad and I were about to move in together. So I wanted to make it special, to impress my mother, earn her respect, maybe even her admiration. But that would only happen if everything were perfect. The fire made it a complete failure. But to be honest, she'd have found some problem anyway. Diane always loved being the center of attention. But when she showed up with her hair cut short and dyed green, I almost didn't recognize her. 19 years strong on this earth, and she couldn't care less about people's opinions. She was amazing to me. But I wonder if she was, at least unconsciously, trying to please Marie. It worked, by the way. Marie always had a soft spot for the rebels. And I don't think it made Diane any happier, though. I was so stressed out that night that I started drinking early. Marie loves to drink, so does Diane, and her girlfriend Sasha followed along. Long story short, we got drunk fast. All four of us. We had booze, we had cigarettes, plus the other stuff. And after a while... When dinner started, Marie turned on the charm. She laughed loudly, talked a lot, asked all kinds of questions. She has the most unbelievable charisma when she's trying to please someone, you know? And that night, she really was trying. I thought it was odd. She certainly wasn't doing it for me, or for Diane. And then I noticed the way she was looking at Sasha. I saw the glimmer in her eyes. The same as when she talks about Japanese whiskey. And I got
God.
worried.
Is her mom gonna try to hook up with her? Alright.
I'd got these nice candles to decorate the table with. Obviously, I burned myself when lighting them. To no one's surprise, that was typical me. Scavus, they called me. It means clumsy in Latin. Marie coined that one. I didn't mind. Quite the contrary. In any family, everyone plays a role. You just need to find the one that suits you. And I like being the bumbling, fumbling one. That way, at least, the pressure was off.
Makes sense.
So, yes, Jan and I were trapped in this ridiculous rivalry. The choir girl versus the rebel. The meek versus the indomitable. I'm never taken seriously. She's not allowed to show any sign of weakness, and we hold it against each other. But as soon as we lower our guard, we are saddled with the obvious. Marie forgot Diane's birthday once. Diane didn't say anything. She was convinced there'd be a surprise for her after dinner. But then it was time to go to bed, and she broke down, crying. I did everything I could to comfort her. It never happened again, by the way. Afterwards, she became hardened, withdrawn. Just like Marie. But that night, we could still hug. So I played some music on the living room stereo and I invited her to dance. And since then, for each of our birthdays, she and I always end up dancing. It's become more intense as we grew in Marie's shadow. We care about each other more than anyone else.
What? Oh. Uh-huh.
Alex called several times that night. He wanted to know how things were going. He had a hunch things would be tense, and he wanted to be my emotional hotline. I didn't answer. I wanted to fend for myself. It's why I didn't invite him in the first place. I'll admit, sometimes his support was stifling.
Okay.
The flames went up very high, very quickly. Everyone ran into the kitchen. Marie, Diane, and Sasha. Oh, she screamed at me. She couldn't believe that anyone could be so inept. I said it was an accident. I was trying to brown the baked Alaska, but it got out of hand. No one questioned my version of events. The whole thing was just classic me. Alex wasn't there to defend me, and I just sucked it up. I never saw Sasha after that day. She and Diane broke up a few weeks later. Maybe I was just drunk. Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe I was paranoid. But when Marie invited Sasha to her studio to see the paintings and more, ooh, that raised a flag. She was up to something. She was trying to seduce her. And maybe she could have. I tried to warn Diane, told her to watch out. She was too far gone. She just looked at me. She had this blissed out smile. She could barely keep her eyes open. I had to do something, but I couldn't face Marie head on. I wasn't strong enough, so I improvised.
You started the fire on purpose?
No one noticed the bottle of Japanese whiskey was completely empty. Alcohol burns nicely on the stove. It was perfect for me to craft a diversion. And you know what? I wasn't even that drunk. I was mostly angry. At Marie. At myself. Maybe nothing happened after all. Maybe Marie didn't try anything. I'll never know. But I was scared enough for Diane's relationship that I set the kitchen on fire.
What's wrong with you?
I never told Diane what happened. She still thinks I'm a bumbling idiot. I can't tell her the truth, and she wouldn't want to hear it anyway. But what I did that night, I did out of love. Marie always said that you can't trust anyone in life. Well, in that moment, whether she knew it or not, Diane could trust me.
Why would she trust you over me?
And here we go again, trying to see who can spit the furthest. But you know what? I'm not playing this game. She needs her sister today, not a fight. You know, I get it.
Get what?
Why you think of me this way. The chump who keeps screwing things up.
I never...
I understand because that's my little routine, you know?
What are you saying?
Nope, we're telling her the secret.
What's wrong with me? I'm not about to tell her all my dirty secrets. That wouldn't be like me at all. Although I guess this is a pretty good day for confessions. Whatever. Just understand this. We both know things can be tense between us. It would be easier if I could act like this is all her fault. Diane's competitive spirit is unmatched. She has to be the first in everything. You can make her a little stupid sometimes. Oh, just like when she was training for tennis, or when we did hamster races. Yeah, exactly. Racing hamsters. Pretty cool, huh? We had these hamsters for a while. We won them at the village fair. Marie hated them, but we were allowed to keep them as long as they were
Dr.
out of her
Dolittle.
sight. And Diane always wanted to race them. Hers was really slow. It lost every race. It was an embarrassment. She had this whole training regimen, but it wasn't enough. So, she brought out the big guns. And one day, her hamster was hyped to the max. Absolutely smoked mine. And that night, he died. It wasn't hard to get the truth out of her. She'd fed him coffee drops. She was kind of sad, but not really. At least he went out on a win, she said. I could act like I wasn't anything like her. But that's not true. I just pretended that I didn't care. Truthfully, I also wanted to be the best. At the very least, I wanted to best her. As if we were always competing with each other, and it was exhausting. Some days it was hard. But whatever happened, I've always tried to protect you.
I don't need anyone's protection.
Yeah, it sounds weird when I say it out loud. You're the strongest person I know.
And you're built like a sea cucumber.
Look, all I'm saying is, I was always on your side when it mattered.
Are you talking about Mom right now?
Not just her. Yeah, I'm totally talking about Marie. I'm talking about the fact that you're my sister, and that's special to me. And I know it's the same to you. Listen, Diane, I have no idea how things are going to play out with Marie. And it's true, I have been feeling out of it for a little while now. But I do know one thing. That's going to help us.
What do you mean?
I mean that being a psychopathic robot has its perks. Cool heads prevail. And I think this is going to help us make the right choice. The best choice for Marie, sure. But for you and me, too.
Maybe.
Why are you looking at me like that?
It's just...
Oh
I'm
god,
not
here we
used to
go.
seeing you like this. You sound confident. It suits you. All right. So, what do we do?
I have no idea. No idea. But I'm not going to tell her that right now. I need to find a different tack. You know your mother. She's stubborn. A real trooper. So, I think we will have to wait and see.
I can't. No, I just can't. I'm not going to sit here twiddling my thumbs.
What are you gonna
We
do?
don't have a choice, Jen.
Of course we do. We need to stay on top of the doctors. They need to do their absolute best. Come to think of it, we're not keeping her in this hole. I'll call my dad. I'll bet he'll have a buddy in a private clinic somewhere. We're not leaving anything to chance. Why aren't you saying anything? You're with me, right? We need to fight, don't we?
I don't know, Jen.
What do you mean? I don't know, Diane. If we were in her place, you know very well what she'd be doing. She'd do everything in her power to make sure we pulled through. We owe her that as well. Don't we?
I can't take any more illusions of control. You can't always do something, you know? Running around all over the place, yelling at doctors won't help her just because we think it will. It doesn't work that way. It never does. Sometimes you just need to let go.
Let go? Let go of what?
See, Diane, maybe this is why Marie chose me. She knows that I can keep a cool head, that I don't let my emotions take over.
Bullshit. You think this isn't your emotions doing the talking? You go on and on saying that Mom is the worst mother ever. Do you seriously not think you share some of the blame?
What?
Whoa.
What do you mean?
You know very well what I mean. She could have died in that car.
Alright, well, before we continue on, let's end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. Leave a comment on what you think of the game so far. And if you're feeling generous, subscribe. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching.